Derek, remember that mentality. We're going in here to win. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Let me just get my little magic red carpet out.
Okay.
Wipe our feet on it.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Good morning, young guy.
This is Derek. I don't think he's been here before with me.
Don't recognize him,
Okay.
so
He's
good
been
for
with
you
us.
to work for Mike.
I understand I'm being sent here because of a broken toilet valve.
Yeah, Mike, I know it's a small thing, and I know you're incredibly busy.
No, there's no job too small. Too
I
big.
actually thought the pipe broke, but I don't think so.
I think last time we were here, we were talking about your faucet, weren't we?
Yeah, well, I don't know, it stopped leaking. Don't explain that to me. It was like magic. Mike shows up on the scene, he looks at it, stops leaking. Honestly.
So you're referring to the valve at this toilet to give it water?
Yeah, I shut it off. I walked in here about 11 o'clock at night and I was standing in water. 8 o'clock, I wasn't standing.
Okay, let's see what's going on with this valve. You were standing in water. Things that make you go, I gotta tell you, things that make me go, is possibly this
It's not leaking.
chrome tubing. I think it is.
Okay.
I think that little drop is moving right there. All right, so remember how she said that she couldn't get the rust out of there? Wink. Let's see. Let's see how that works on there. Just gonna hit that a little bit right there and see how that handles it. Wink, rust stain remover for colored fast fabrics and white porcelain. See, white sinks and white toilet bowls. Color fast fabrics and carpet. So this generally works, Derek, to get rust out of, like, ring around the collar and the bowls. But there's one better than this, and it's made by Goof Off. It's called Rust Remover. That is like, it will, you breathe this in, you're gonna be in another planet. But this stuff, yeah, this stuff is not really doing it. I thought it would, but it is what it is. Yeah, there it is. Very, very suspect. Let's take a look inside the tank. Wow, surprisingly, it looks very, very clean. Nice Kohler K981042R. Made in the USA. Kohler, Wisconsin. So now we have a leaking water supply line from the valve to the water measuring device on the bottom of the toilet. Now, there's an old saying, once you touch something, you own it, right? So if we were to do the minimum here, that's going to replace the component from here to there. Can the connection at the bottom of the water measuring device to the new supply line fail in the future? Unlikely. And even though this is a fluid master, it appears to be in good shape. All right, but I bet you it's as old as the toilet. I'm more concerned about the greenness of the valve. That is, look at that, there it is dripping. She's a leaker. She's a leaker. And that kind of sucks. It's a nice steady drip too. Yeah. But let's do a little test. Let's feel there. And it's dry. What I'm doing is feeling the undercarriage of the actual porcelain tank itself. Making sure that the connection, that white nut there on the top, is dry, which it is. So if we were to replace here to there, not too shabby, but we've probably changed the valve and turn off the main water to the house and get that done. But let's go see what she wants to do. All right, we got the main water valve shut. And just making sure that other valves are closed. So that, see, that's going outside? Mm-hmm. That's the outside hose faucet, which she closed, which is good. Very, very nice. But we may use that to our benefit, but not really, because the toilet valve coming out of the wall of that bathroom is lower than here. But we're just gonna go to the bathroom sink and open up the hot and cold water valve. So what I'm gonna do first is loosen the compression nut coming out of the valve. All right, we're gonna remove the top connection on the tank itself. Getting some water there. That's because this is the lowest point of the house. Come on, baby. Wow, they really got it in there. We have to use a little brute force here, folks. There we go. See, they really jammed it up in there. They jammed it up in there years ago. This box got a little wet, I see. We have the Wolverine brass, the Finale Ultimate. I'm using the brass shank, and right there, what does that say right there? There you go, that's right, folks. Show you how we finesse this. Okay. Let's raise this up a little bit. Lock that back into place. And it should be about right. Now, get underneath here, loosen up that nut. I'm pushing down on the fill valve to keep the water in the tank. Now, I'm gonna take that rag. Ow, look at that. Now we take this. Oh, the gasket remained, see that? Now go like that. Bow. Done. Brass nut. Put that there. I'm going to tighten that up. And we go. I like just putting it in there like that. Let's get rid of that old gasket on the bottom of the old fill valve. And now let's take off the head or the nut on the valve stem. All right, so remove the valve handle and the stem from the valve. We still got water dripping there, right? So us trying to solder off that 90 is going to be a little bit of a challenge unless we steam out all that water there. Fill valve's in place, and if I do that, just the cold water, if I open up the hot, we could get some residual hot water out of there, but our rate is slowing down, but this is like Chinese water torture. Drip, 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 drip. So soldering off that 90 is going to be fun, because as long as there's water present inside that piping, it'll never allow us to heat up the solder to the point of melting, which allows us to take that 90 off. But we could steam it off eventually. We may end up cutting off the valve with a little mini hacksaw sawzall or whatever, which what do you say? Do we get a little mini sawzall?
Yeah.
Mini sawzall.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. Yeah, let's get that. Let's get creative. I'm gonna open up the channel lock a little bit. there. Let's carefully put a little cut there. And now we'll be able to drain out the water. Down. It is not being that forgiving here. Remember, I just need to get this fitting off so I could clean off the pipe and put a new valve on. So we're getting a lot of water in there, and until that solder melts, it is not going to come off. Yeah, I knew this was going to be fun. All that crap coming out of there. Not that cooperative. Still getting water there. It's crazy. We have steam, we have water. I know. Low alarm. Be quiet. And then the water here. That's annoying. I think if we steam it out a little bit more, we'll be alright. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Take the sawzall with you. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. Please take something with you. Get the right size jaw. So I ended up cutting off the that long turn 90, and then I cleaned off the copper. We have our 1/2 inch by 3/8 angle compression stop. That's by Brasscraft, and then I'm gonna finish that up with a nice chrome plated split ring escutcheon. Now this would be a perfect candidate for the pivot rings that the company only owns one of. But I'm good though, because I'm a professional. Look at that. Okay. Beautiful. Let's take that off of there. We're gonna save that. And now I have a 12-inch. Yeah, the 12-inch will be okay. Take that label off and connect it. Slowly turn that main water valve on. Well, before we connect our toilet supply, we're going to get all that junk out of there. You saw all that burnt metal buildup, all that crap. What I'm going to do is grab this rag. Yep, just get all that crap out of there. Get on there. There you go. That tile is very hot to the touch. Let's make sure we good. discussion's on. A quarter turn valve is in place. Toilet fills up. Toilet flushes. Easy peasy. All right. I was going to use the thermal imaging camera in the tile to make sure we don't have any hot spots because we had that opening to the inside wall of the plumbing wall inside here, but it's cooling off and my thermal imaging camera battery died because I left it on. But the wall is much cooler now. It was hot because of the flame against it, but I tried, but I think that looks really, 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 really nice. What do you think, Derek? Yeah. Are you saying that just because I'm the boss and you have to agree with me, or no? Okay. There you go. Call the toilet. Rebuilt. That disgusting discussion that was there, I was like, I can't make this all look pretty and not do that. So I didn't have the flapper for that toilet, so I gave you discussion.
If now, how do I shut that off?
So this is a quarter turn. It's a quarter turn valve.
Okay.
So it just quarter turn one direction, and that's it. That's closed.
Thank you.
Now that's open.
That other valve was so hard to close the other night. I was turning.
Yeah. So I know you how clean, neat, and organized everything is here, like perfection, like it was built yesterday. You can do something about your baseboard cover, by the way.
I want to, but I don't know what to do.
Okay, so this looks to be about a 4 foot piece of slant fit number 30 baseboard.
Yeah.
So they sell them with or without the element.